I almost don't believe it, but we just got an auto-barbing feature in Call of Dragons. I would bet you money this is going to show up in Rise of Kingdoms as well. So let me show you how this works, and I'll also go over other things that have been updated in this latest Call of Dragons patch, because it seems like the developers for Rise of Kingdoms and Call of Dragons have been on a tear improving the quality of life in these games, and I'm here for it, baby. So let's check this out. Auto-Peacekeeping. How does it work? First, you pick your target. And in Call of Dragons, there's actually different unit types you could target. I don't care what the heck we target. Pick them all. Infantry, archers, riders, warlocks, heavy infantry. I do not care. Theoretically, you could pick a unit type you want to counter, though, and that would be reasonable. Then you pick the level range of the mobs you want to fight. I'm going to go lower here, just in case, I don't know, there's like not actually a bunch of high-level mobs in my area. And what is the minimum unit count? During the auto-peacekeeping and auto-capture, if a legion drops below the minimum unit count, all legions will return to the city to replenish their numbers. So if your armies get too low, then they will go home. Bro, I would use this so much in Rise of Kingdoms. Oh my God. Like, I have like millions, like maybe even 3 million action points and potions on one of my accounts. I would use the heck out of this. Anyways, I would pick like send all my armies home if any one of them gets below 30%. Now, we can auto-cast our artifact skills. I pick my legions here. I genuinely don't even care what we send. Do I have... Yeah, sure, this... I don't care. Confirm. For the sake of the vid, we're just seeing how it works. Now, I can use CP items. So this in Rise of Kingdoms would be, you know, your equivalent of action point potions. I don't want to use any action point potions, okay? And now I can pick how many Darklings I want to fight. Is that right? Uh-huh. So if I go above the amount of action points I have, it tells me my estimated cost is 600. Defeating Darklings consecutively will reduce your CP cost. That's true. I mean, I could pick that and see what happens, right? All right, let's just do it. Pardon my cough here, man. Like, ever since I got COVID, this is my situation in life now. Okay. Good. Let's do this thing. Go. They just do it. Dude. So after I knock this one out, we'll see it'll go fight another one. I got this level 47 by my city. I wasn't very picky about what I picked. And by the way, you can auto-catch pets here too, which is kind of crazy. Now, if I go back to the auto menu, it says it's in progress. I don't know how I would stop it. Maybe I can just like retreat them somehow. And here is where I can auto-capture pets. So I can pick kind of like what pet do I want to capture, and it would go capture them, which is pretty sick. So, okay, it defeated that one, and it just goes and attacks the next one. Bro, this feature is so good. Let's get this in Rise of Kingdoms. 100% I would use this. Oh my God, I would use this. Oh, it'd be so good. This would be so good. Oh my goodness. You didn't know you needed this until you're like, wait, that mundane thing I was doing every day, I don't have to do it anymore. I just tell the game to do it. Honestly, I don't know why I even have to tell the game to send out my gatherers. Just do that automatically too. Honestly, game, just play yourself. I mean, here's the thing, right? Like, how do I want to spend my time on this game? PvP. That's like what I'm here for. All the other stuff is a necessity, not a thing that I derive tremendous satisfaction from, although I don't hate it. City building war games are kind of my jam. Now, there are a couple other things that we got here in Call of Dragons that play off of what's already in Rise of Kingdoms, which is kind of hilarious. Oh, look at him go! Okay, anyways, we got an achievement system. So, just like I said would be the case because we have this in Rise of Kingdoms, the achievement system basically has different types of achievements, and some of them you would have more progress on if it had been tracking data, but they weren't up until this point. But you get different tiers of rewards here, and you get gems for doing it. And then all of those count toward a bigger set of rewards here, which is pretty cool. And this shows you the composition of your, I guess, trophy chamber, like how many different types of trophies you've got. And there's all these different categories of things to go and do. So I'm sure there's a bunch of like really low hanging fruit where you could go at 1,000 consecutive days and it gives me 0 progress. I will never log off and I should have progress. Bless your heart. But where's my VIP? You know how much progress I should have toward that? Is right? Wait. Don't they keep track of how many days in a row I've logged in? Oh. Yeah. 598. That's how many consecutive login days worth of credit your boy Cheese should have, in my opinion. Okay. Anyways, very hyped about the achievement system. Very cool to see that. A feature from Rise of Kingdoms that made it way, and it makes sense that it made its way into Call of Dragons. Now, and it's like not even remotely surprising that's here. I think it's just a matter of like when it became a priority to put that thing in the game. So this brings us to report updates. And I love this, okay? So now you can see exactly how much you clapped your enemy when you wreck folks. And here's an example of that. So we lost this pass to this group EIS who is like literally got twice as many players as we do. And I don't know, their leader's just making all this noise about how we're not fighting them. But like for 3+ days, we were sitting at this pass. They didn't bother to fight us. The one time they did, we absolutely wrecked them. But whatever. So we absolutely clapped them at this pass, respectfully. And now you can actually see like how wrecked they got in the report, which is pretty cool. So you can see here 610,000 deaths for us, 802,000 deaths for them. But look at the sev wounds here. It's because they sent these counter rallies that just like absolutely got clowned. So 2.2 million sevs for us, 6.6 million sevs for them. Is what it is. You know, for a group complaining about not getting enough fights, they didn't show up for the fight. And then let's see here, pass defense. So this is when, as I mentioned in a prior video, a behemoth was cheated out into a position it should never have been able to go to, and they staffed a bunch of people in front of the pass, and we couldn't reinforce it. We still traded positive, which is just hilarious. So anyways, long story short, we win this trade by 100,000 dead troops. We lose on the sevs, but like, yeah, I mean, they burned the pass. Like, what are we? They took the pass. What are we talking about? That's what's going to happen. The fact that we traded positive all is actually just hilarious. And like, I'd take this trade any time, baby, anytime. The sev wounds, even in this big report, like I point to, I'm like, 2.2 to 6.6. I mean, if we're honest, that 3-to-1 trade is like completely irrelevant. It's like a rounding error for a field fight. So it really. The sev wounds are just so deeply irrelevant. But I love this feature. This is something we've needed for a long time. And the merits it shows up here are specifically your merits gained, which is kind of neat. So my participation in these rallies, hilariously, is always going to be limited because I'm the rally leader. So it's not like I can put more troops in my rally to farm more merits off these guys. But, you know, it is what it is. And yeah, I love this new change to the way that reports work. All right. Now, in terms of other features that are crossovers from Rise of Kingdoms, we did have all debuffs removed from city themes. So that's kind of neat. It's here. It's happened. You can just sort of pick whatever theme you want for the buffs. And, you know, that has the biggest impact on the legendary themes. These are real bangers now. Wish I had this Butterfly Palace, the one that my daughter thinks is the coolest theme ever. She also really likes the boat with the unicorn, the Pegasus that I have in Rise of Kingdoms, which is hilarious. But anyways, GG's. Yeah. So we have the Auspicious Rain cooking up here. I'm just going to keep using that for who knows how long. I would like to get a 10% theme. I'll probably train for that at some point. We were in a really, really contentious continent. Now we're not. So I think it's like achievable at this point. Oh, my Auto-Peacekeepers are done. They stopped with a positive amount of CP. Okay. I mean, that seems fine. All that seems fine. Now, obviously, a bunch of other updates here that are Call of Dragon specific. This is the pet system. If you're watching this because you like Rise of Kingdoms, too bad, so sad. We get pets and you get armaments. Sucks to suck. I mean, you know, respectfully, pets are 100 million times cooler than armaments. I mean, like, I don't know, maybe that's just my preference, okay? Obviously, it's my preference to have pets here. But you can do some cool stuff with your pets now. So if we go into the skills and we hit skill upgrade, you now can like directly harvest a skill off of a pet, but it gives you half credit. So a 1-star skill would only be worth 50 points, whereas a 1-star skill in your bag would be worth 100 points. And you can sort of apply those skills. Well, one heart attack later. I have 2 of these. Only one of them is allowed to be applied, but it used to be 2 of them that could be applied. So I'm deeply confused. Maybe there's some sort of bug, or I'm just confused. But look, 2 moon rages, but I can only apply one of them to my pet now. That was not the case last night when this update landed. So I'm like, again, deeply confused as to what's going on. I wonder if it's somehow locked. Yes. Aha. Aha. If I unlock it, I'm good to go. Okay. That was so confusing. Straight up heart attack. Okay. I mean, I may as well like apply these things and then I won't have a heart attack again. Now the 2 are free. Well, okay. I get why you can lock them. That's a quality of life feature preventing you from accidentally getting rid of it. But I was like, no, I'm knocked back by weeks on my progress on this pet. GG's. If I go to skill upgrade, I'm just gonna do it. Boom, boom. I'm gonna commit. Okay, we are committed here. All right. I'm gonna put these on the 2-star skills. Doing it. This is the right pet. This is the one. We skill upgrade. Absolutely terrifying. Okay, it's done. Never have to worry about that ever again. And hopefully I didn't just mess that up, because that would be an absolute crisis. Now, the thing that's kind of interesting is you get weekly resets on pet skills. So a bunch of people, you know, understandably, if you're a big Kraken, were like, oh, before the update, buy all your 1-star pet skills. And like, if you're a super big whale, hey, yo, you go and you do that. All right. But this resets every week, I would assume. Like, this looks like it probably lines up with Sunday weekly reset. So 1 2-star skill every week seems pretty good. Now, based on what you saw here of the cost of those skills, it's 10 1-star skills, just like it was before, to make a 2-star skill, which is really expensive. If you look at what I was just buying, like 1-star luck skill, what I'm buying is Blood Roar. Look at this. So this costs you 4,000, okay? So 10 of these would have been 40,000 pet coins, all right? And I would have had 1 2-star skill. Compared to just buying it 2 stars outright is like 17,000. Oh, it's up to 20,000 now? Bro. They made a change where they're like, yes, pet skills are much more susceptible to price fluctuation. And it's like, maybe the cheap skills will decrease at a faster rate too, and maybe it all works out. But like, there's a reason the pricey skills are pricey. It's because they're the ones you need to have. So, I guess this ends up being good for free to play and sucks for pay to win. Which, I mean, I'm actually not upset if this is genuinely like a Robin Hood situation, where like we yoink the pet coins off the wealthy and make the stuff cheaper for the F2P low spenders getting the cheaper skills. I'm supportive. It just took me a second to realize what's happening there. Like, is there an upside or was it all downside? I mean, for a spender, I think it's probably downside, but for a non-spender, there's probably some big upside there. If you go for non-meta skills, you know, then you're making a non-meta pet. But whatever, take my money because pets are so damn cool. Man, hey, yo, I can't wait to hit people with this Moon Bear more. In part because, like, I don't know, I have bought so many pet coins to make this pet. So just let me have an opportunity to use it. I don't care if I trade negative, positive, or whatever. Let me just do something with this pet, okay? Anyways, pretty happy about all that. Pet system changes. In terms of hacks to get more value from this pet exchange situation, there is one way to potentially go do this. I need to think about it more. I was very sleep deprived when I was thinking about this. But if you catch a 1-star pet and you have 4 1-star skills in your inventory already, then what you can do is directly harvest the 2-star skill that you make. So you catch a 1-star pet, you put 4 1-star skills on it to make it 2 stars, okay? And you harvest it off that pet. That is worth 500 points, okay? And okay, 500 points. Why do you care about that, Chisgule? Well, so if I were to direct harvest the 1-star skill from that pet, and if I were to take 4 1-star skills, as you see here, and apply it, then I would get 450 points. You see? You see, we gained 50 points of credit. I mean, it ain't much, but you heard it here first as a little technique to give you a little something. Now, I need to go spend a bunch more time actually figuring out what the technique is, okay? Because I'm sure there's something you can do that's very sneaky and gets you value here, but I haven't figured out what it is yet, other than gaining like those 50 points. And we'll sort of see, all right? From here, though, is there anything else in this update that I want to talk about? I don't know. Overall, I'm just very happy with these quality of life changes. They seem really, really good. I think overall, we'll only see just more interplay of the Call of Dragons and Rise of Kingdoms features, sort of cross-contaminating between these games, and I'm definitely here for it. I mean, you've basically got your Rise of Kingdoms, which represents much more simple combat. There's no elevation. The structure game is completely different, more rally garrison focused. And then you've got Call of Dragons, which is like deeply more strategic with tactical formations and position and all that stuff I was just mentioning. So, it depends on which you're here for. I think I would say Call of Dragons pushes more in the direction of gameplay, and it has some different collection elements like pets versus, armaments. I mean, there's no way you're going to convince me the cuddly but ferocious bear isn't cooler than, a little accessory icon flag thingy. I'm not trying to knock Rise of Kingdoms. I'm just, I like the pet system. The only thing I would potentially suggest could use some love about the pet system, and I'm saying this constructively, right, is like, I think it would be cool if you had more control over getting more skill slots. I think it would be really cool if you had more control over what your stat distribution is. I would argue the most frustrating thing about the pet system, not that it's particularly frustrating, but at times it can be, is just the regeneration process. Because you can go through thousands of regeneration potions and just not end up with what you want. And I think it's 7 stars or 7 slots here. I think I just have to be done. Like, the amount of regeneration potions it would take to get a better pet here, I think it's so unlikely. It'd be cool to have the extra skill slot, but I don't know. Your thoughts in the comments. Is it worth it or not? Some of them you just get lucky and it's like, oh, this is pretty legit. You run with this one. It's like, that's pretty legit. I've got some other ones where it's like, oh, damn. I wish I was using the Stripe Bear's stats. Wish I could use this. This is pretty decent 8 slaughter. I got a pretty decent 8 slaughter on this Sand Lizard. Turned out pretty good. Strength's very low here. Tragic, but otherwise, pretty interesting. Anyways, I guess now I'm rambling. If you enjoyed the vid, throw a like on here, subscribe to the channel. Hyped about these updates for Call of Dragons, the cross-contamination of features. In my opinion, we are going to get auto-barbing and Rise of Kingdoms within the next 3 months. That would be my guess. I, of course, could be wrong, but I think this showing up here is the test. And they wouldn't have put it in here unless they thought it was going to be pretty well received already and be a really good feature. So once they probably get the data to prove it, they're like, yeah, okay. Let's drop that in the other one too. My 2 cents. If you enjoyed the vid, throw a like on here, subscribe. Until next time, you have fun smashing your enemies. Take care, everybody.